Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the Bulls have got their checkbook out and they are looking to build their squad. We spoke yesterday about the fact that they're apparently in for Billy LaRue, and they then went on to announce three signings, three new players that will be joining with the Union for next season. And very interesting signings. Two players coming from overseas, sort of South Africans returning home, I suppose, and then a local switch as well. Right, so first up, before we tell you exactly who the three are announced, and none of them were particularly big secrets, bar one, I don't think was too widely reported. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. It's been an interesting week for the Bulls, who announced a 5-year deal for Shabina Jacobs, for example, who signed a deal, or a 4-year deal, up until 2027, which is a pretty big contract to hand out. And then, yesterday, they announced Jakob van der Walt, the former Lions, could you just stop being useless, and Edinburgh fly half, who is capped for Scotland. He'll be moving from Edinburgh to the Bulls. Again, we kind of knew it was happening, but now it's been announced. They then announced tight head prop from the Sharks, Kuta Nkunu. He's played for the Cheetahs before then, and then the Sharks. Very big scrummager. Have my doubts about with sort of the caliber of signing, given the fact that, look, I mean, they're getting a bulk of those as well. I do think that Kuta Nkunu for me has sometimes been exposed. And then a very interesting signing in Sergio Peterson, who returns to South Africa and will play for the Bulls. Very good signing for me. That very good player. Very underrated player, I think. So in terms of the question is, how do we rate these signings? Now, I think that in terms of the positions, I think they do need fly half depth. They're losing Morné Steyn. I think, let's be honest, Johan Goosen has just not quite been the Johan Goosen we all hoped we would see. Apart from that sort of what game against SAA where he was brilliant and everybody sort of saying, right, we'll give him a Springbok jersey. During the Currie Cup, he just struggled. He's not quite there. And whether he can get there, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so I think fly half depth is very important. I think Christmas, a solid player. But at the end of the day, Jakob van der Walt is international quality. He was playing international rugby a couple of years ago. He's kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. But I've seen a couple of moments for him this season where he's really got still plenty to offer. And I think that this is a good environment for him. They've also got Henry Edelman, who's coming in. So, I mean, their outside backs are absolutely stacked, which is why it would be surprised me in many ways that they did get Billy LaRue over the line, and why it surprised me that Sergio Peterson, for example, has been added, because they do have quite a lot of outside backs anyway. There's the rumors about Billy LaRue, Henry Edelman, obviously, and then all of a sudden they're now adding Sergio Peterson into that mix. Kuta Nkunu, I think, is a decent signing, I think, to add to depth. For example, I'm always sort of a bit hesitant about him. I've seen some good games from him. I've seen some get shown up a couple of times, so yeah, I think maybe a change of environment and it will be interesting, but I'm not sure how much game time he'll get. But at the end of the day, the Bulls kind of need a bit of a reset. So maybe a bit of new energy, a couple of new faces in and around that squad. I mean, they are good signings. They are all good signings. I don't think any union would turn down these type of players. I mean, Sergio Peterson, for me, is very underrated. I think he sort of fits, I mean, when you've got Kirkley Orange, Kane Moody, for example, running around, it'll be cool to see what Sergio Peterson has to offer, for example. And hopefully we can get back to the Sergio Peterson of old. Although, to be fair, even recently, I think he's found himself a whole different type of player. He's playing really well for the Stormers before he went over to Japan. Now he returns to South Africa. So, three good signings, I think. I think Jakob van der Walt, the most exciting, obviously. I genuinely think that they should be giving him the starting number 10, and that they should be really sort of, I mean, they can get the best out of Jakob van der Walt. I think he offers them a hell of a lot. Loved watching him, loved him when he was at the Lions. Very, very gutted them when I had to watch him in the Bulls jersey, but I think that's the type of player that they need. I personally still think Billy LaRue will be a good signing for them. But they're signing well at the moment to give them their due, and very interested to see what these signings will be, because he's Jakob van der Walt, a Sergio Peterson are not necessarily your typical Bulls signings with the way they play. So hopefully, there could be a bit more innovation maybe, and maybe a little bit of a move away from the season where I feel like they progressed backwards to sort of not too much flair and kind of a very direct route one sort of rugby. A couple of years ago, they were playing a much nicer brand for me, and they kind of moved away from that. They've gone back to the original Bulls DNA. Now I think we need to find a bit of a combination in between. But let me know what you think of those 3 signings down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.